Well, now, my fabulous friends, it's Friday night, and if you're looking for something to do this weekend, well, I've got just the thing for you. Mulled wine, mince pies, and an incredible new book. Yes, I'm delighted to introduce you all to internationally renowned medium and healer and my very dear friend, Miss Heidi Messenger. Heidi, it's so good having you on the show. How are you?
I'm very good, Adam. Thank you so much for having me on. It's nice to speak to you.
Oh, it's been a long time coming. I'm delighted to have you live tonight, Heidi. And so you are launching your eagerly awaited second book, Angels at My Table, this Sunday, 7 o'clock at the Menlo Park Hotel. Tell us all about it.
Okay, well, I'm just so delighted with the reception for book one, See Through People, that we got book two out, and it's launching, as you said, at the Menlo Park on the 3rd of December, 7 o'clock. It's following on the same sort of theme. We were so inundated with questions from people wanting to know more about what it's like to be a medium, what's the difference between mediums and psychics, are you ever scared? The questions that I'm often asked.
Yeah.
So there wasn't enough space in the first book. We had to just carry on again. So that's what we've done. We responded in the same sort of vein, based on when I found out the answer to those questions from my own life experience. And it's a way of directing it and making it real for everybody else as well.
Oh, I absolutely cannot wait for Sunday. Cannot wait to read the book as well. And Heidi, I don't know how you do it, and I don't know how you find the time, because you're booked out, first of all, for over a year for readings. And then it's just a year since you wrote your last book. You're definitely one busy lady.
I know. I think it's quite strange. I think when you have something that really drives you, it makes it so important that you make the time for it. And yes, I am busy. And as you know, because you're a friend of mine as well, which is very lovely. I've not been very well, so I'm actually having to shuffle going to oncology and seeing people at home that have been booked in for quite a long time. A lot of people have come to see me, have been waiting 18 months to see me. So it's managing all of that, but it's worth it. You know, it's spreading the word, getting the message out there, and that's the key. That's what drives me on.
Oh no, I can't stress enough as well what an inspirational story your first book has been, and of course this second one now. Cannot wait, as I said, to read it. Now, as well, Heidi, it is of course because of these waiting lists that maybe helped you get into writing, so maybe more people can kind of get access to your wonderful message.
Well, that's exactly it. That was it. I mean, two things happened coincidentally. The first thing was I was diagnosed with the stage 4 cancer, and I also became aware that I wasn't physically able to reach as many people as I wanted to.
Yeah.
And it really heartens me to see a growing interest in all forms of spirituality and healing, people wanting to do more, wanting to be better, wanting to understand more of what's going on around us, and having open minds and open hearts. It's not about religion, it's about love. And that's always been the message, love and light. If we can do whatever we do and follow whatever discipline of religion we do with those intentions, the world will be a much nicer place. And that's why I've written it, to hopefully reach those who will never meet me, but will still have something within the book that resonates with them.
And Heidi, your first book, it got such an incredible response. How does it feel to be a successful author now, on top of everything else you do?
It all still feels a bit surreal, to be fair. I still have to go shopping. I still have to do all the ordinary things. So you don't get much time to rest on your laurels, as you must know as well, having written your lovely book. So it's, but it's been quite overwhelming. I've been very humbled, is the best way to put it, by the wonderful response. I mean, to go into third print of your first book was such a surprise for me. I kind of thought, the people who know me may buy it because they've been to see me and want to know a bit more.
Of course.
I didn't expect the outreach from people I've never even met. And obviously a lot of that's down to Book Hub Publishing as well, because they've promoted it for me and helped reach those, as you say, who would not get a chance to meet because the waiting lists are so long. But it's wonderful. It's wonderful. It's exciting and at the same time quite overwhelming.
And of course, Heidi, we are lucky enough to be friends because of Book Hub Publishing, because we're with the same publishing house. Now, Niall and Susan and all the team there, it really is a publishing house with a difference, isn't it? Was that important to you when you decided you wanted to write a book?
Absolutely. I mean, as you know, I live in Galway, in the very outskirts of Galway, right beside Roscommon. But I wanted somebody accessible, somebody that I could get to see and sort of eyeball. That sounds like a strange thing. I didn't want a remote, massive publisher where I was just another author who they didn't ever even get to meet.
Exactly.
It had to be personal. They had to really understand why it was so important to me. I wanted to keep the integrity of the message, but also be guided, because that's why they are a publisher. They know what they're doing. They edit, they proofread, they know all the pitfalls of copyright and all those things that we lay people wouldn't know. So that's why you use them. But based in Athenry, they're fabulous. For us, we're very lucky in Galway to have such a lovely little publishing house on our doorstep.
Oh no, it's absolutely brilliant. And now, being a medium and a healer, Heidi, tell us kind of the best part of it and maybe the worst part.
Okay, and for me the best part is that how can I not feel inspired and encouraged every day because I'm in touch with these lovely energies. I see the effects of the validations and the healing on my guests. And it lifts my heart to see that, in some small way I'm passing the baton over. Each time I meet somebody who gets it, they're going out into the world with that bit more light to spread themselves. The downside are that you're always going to get the naysayers and the negative. I've grown up with it. For me, it's not so bad. But I think for people who are my friends, they still find it quite hard and feel like they almost have to defend me. I'm a big girl. People have to make up their own mind. And it's very much about your own decision. Judge what you feel resonates with you, and it may not be everyone's cup of tea. But the point is to experience and to keep an open mind until you've decided.
And Heidi, you've helped so many people over the years. Did you ever think maybe back when you were a little kid that you'd grow up and this would be your calling?
Well, it came to me, as you know from the book, it came to me as a very small child. I didn't realise what the purpose was at the time. But looking back on it now and having written the books and being far older, and maybe not far wiser, but definitely far older, I do believe that my childhood, challenging as it was actually my apprenticeship for now. It meant that in some ways I had a very expanded compassion and loving concern for other people. So without my knowing it, I was probably predestined to become the person I am now, in order to send the healing and the love in the way that I do. If I hadn't been through some of those things, I wouldn't perhaps have the same degree of empathy that I do have now.
Yeah, and finally, Heidi, is there a book 3 already in the works?
There is, actually. There is. It's slightly different. It's obviously about what I do, but what we're doing is a slight twist on it. There's a journalistic part to it as well. So people who have met me will be interviewed.
Oh,
and
brilliant.
They will give their impression of the reading, so, the background to how they heard of me. Most of them, as you know, have never met me before.
Yeah.
And they normally just give their first name when they come to see me, which is how it's always been. So it'll be their story, who they felt came through, what benefit they got from the reading, what surprised and lifted them, what they were hoping for, how they felt after, all those kind of points. And in response, in the same chapter will be my perspective of the same reading. So the reader will get the double bubble, if you like. They'll see how it is as a guest and also from the medium's point of view in the same session.
Well, that sounds absolutely amazing. Now, Heidi, you're definitely one of the most fabulous and inspirational people I know, and I want to urge everyone is welcome to come along on Sunday, aren't they, at the Menlo Park Hotel?
Oh, absolutely. I love making new friends, so please do come and join us.
That, of course, Heidi's brand new book, Angels at My Table. It's released this Sunday with a big launch party at the Menlo Park Hotel. And Heidi, I've got a copy of your first book and your brand new book up for grabs as well, so we're going to be telling people how they can win after the break. We'll talk to you soon, Heidi. Best of luck this Sunday.
Thank you so much. Lovely to speak to you.
You too. Talk to you again. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.